Hi, this is Carlos Cousins, and the following question is asking about the best way to unify paragraph 1 and paragraph 2. So we're going to want to come up with a sentence here. It's going to be at the end of the introductory paragraph, so it's going to actually serve as our thesis, or the driving point of this discussion that we're having about honey. What are we saying about honey that is represented by the entire little essay we've got going on here? And there's only really one body paragraph, and this is a topic sentence. We're talking about the fact that we've got antibacterial in honey that was first reported in 1940 and then confirmed in several laboratories. So what do we know about this antibacterial property of honey? That's what this passage is going to be trying to discuss. So we want to jump in here from describing that honey is not a suitable medium for bacteria because it's acidic and too high in sugar content for growth, to just talking about the fact that bacteria was discovered at some point and then confirmed over and over as time went by. Honey cannot harbor bacteria. So this seems fine. It would be evidence to say that this was discovered in 1940 and then further proof came up, but it might not completely encompass this historical discussion about it after 1940, but this looks like an okay answer. It might actually be the correct answer, so I'm going to keep this at bay for now. Bacteria destroys honey's sugar and acid content. We're not talking about what bacteria does to honey. We're talking about how honey is good at fighting off bacteria. It's got inhibine, the antibacterial activity that's present in honey. That's what we're talking about. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. Honey is dangerous to our health. Well, if honey can help fight off bacteria, it wouldn't be dangerous to us. It would help us. So we can take off answer C from our list already. Between A and D here, honey has long been associated with our health. This looks okay, but now we're not mentioning anything about the bacteria. So we've got a tough choice between A and D. It would make sense, however, to say that this discussion here of what honey's role in medicine was earlier, well, in folk medicine, I guess, actually, and then the fact that bacteria activity is not suitable within honey would sort of provide some sort of evidence for the fact that honey is good for your health, and that each of these pieces of evidence here contribute also to the fact that honey is good for your health. And then that historical discussion would fit in with has long been associated with our health. Between the two of these, this is probably the best answer, though it's a very hard choice. I can totally see if you're struggling between these two. But yeah, D simply has a more broad scope here that all of the things being discussed can fall under, and honey cannot harbor bacteria is a little bit too narrow. It doesn't cover everything because we're also talking about different things here. So, for example, the use of sucrase and inbine assays together was proposed to determine the heating history of commercial honey. And this doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the fact that honey can't harbor bacteria, but it has a lot to do with the history of honey and how it potentially has impacted our health. So not every piece of evidence here directly proves or has to do only with the fact that honey can't harbor bacteria. It's more that honey is healthy. Well, that helped with this problem, and happy prepping.